Hi everyone. No real news today, so let's get straight into the calendars. Then we'll get into the charts, as well as my results for the day and my thoughts going into tomorrow's session. If you like trading stocks and options and making money, definitely like and subscribe. I make videos like this every single day that the markets are open, as well as Sundays, so make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Welcome to the Portfolio Bulletin. Let's get started. Looking at the calendars, for today we had the 2-year and the 5-year auctions. Pretty much as expected, we've been watching that 2-year yield sit around 5%. Makes sense. Looking at tomorrow, we have the JOLTS opening at 10 o'clock, as well as consumer confidence. Those will be the two big ones for tomorrow. Looking at Max Pain, the puts have jumped up quite a lot from the Sunday video, 3.2 here on the put call ratio, up to 1.1 million options, and you can see all of these puts. And it makes sense that the market rallied a little bit today. It was not super convincing, and we'll talk about that more on the charts, but we are in this range now between 440 and 450. I still think 450 is probably going to be the top of the range for this week, but we're definitely in an area that makes sense with a little bit more upside potential in my opinion. Moving over to the charts, starting off with the S&Ps here on the hour and the daily. You can see we got a continuation rally, which is exactly what we expected in the Sunday video. We saw the rally on Friday. I expected some follow through today, and that is what we got. It was not super convincing. We basically gapped up and then went sideways. We're not above any of the longer term EMAs here on the daily chart, but momentum is still ticking towards bullish. And if we start to break through these levels here at 445, and start to push into that 450 area right at this level that I have at 448, right in this zone above all these longer term EMAs on the daily chart, that could be pretty bullish. Overall, we're still mixed. Shorter time frames are bullish. You can see we're above all the EMAs and SMAs, but daily chart still showing bearishness, looking for a rejection off that 21 EMA sitting at 444.78. Moving over to the NASDAQ, very similar to the SPY here on the hour and the daily, above all the EMAs and SMAs on the hourly chart. Daily was a gap up and a doji, still below that 21 EMA, as well as VWAP sitting at 368.62. Momentum still ticking towards bullish, so it could absolutely push through this zone. Resistance currently sitting at 367.63, and if that level breaks and you have some EMAs for resistance in there, then you could be looking up to 371.25. That would be interesting. If it's going to happen, you really need it to happen over the next day or two, push through these levels and establish that higher high and continue this rally. Otherwise, if we reject off these EMAs, we could be looking for a lower low, even below that 353.24 level. Moving over to the Russell and the Dow, you can see the Russell rallied up, hit that trend line, rejected a little bit, still a bullish day, still bullish momentum, but below that 55 EMA on the 4-hour chart, currently sitting at 186.78, clearly an area of resistance. Again, you need to see it get above this trend, push up to the next one, hold above that 55 EMA. If it's going to do it, you want it to happen fairly soon. Been consolidating in this area for a while now. Similarly on the Dow, got above my 345.24 level after holding above 343.23 on the Friday session, so got that continuation. Still looking at the longer term EMAs as resistance. You have the 200 here sitting at 349.24 on the 4-hour. Momentum still bullish, and RSI is also bullish, so you do have to respect that, but clearly going to be some resistance at those longer term EMAs and SMAs. Moving over to the equal weighted S&Ps, you can see we got a little pop above that trend line here. Gapped up, rallied through it, closed above it. You like to see it. Still has quite a bit of room to the 55 and the 21, as well as VWAP, literally all sitting on that 1 point right here at 150.03. They're all within about a penny of each other, definitely an area of interest. Momentum still ticking towards bullish, same as everything else, but I would expect some resistance in that 149.82 area. Moving over to Apple and Tesla. Apple rallying once again, got above 178.58. Next level of resistance would be up at that 182.37 area. Same spot where we rallied to and rejected from last time. Waiting to see if we overthrow that, get a higher high. That would be interesting. Longer term EMAs sitting up around this 186.81 area. Tesla chopping in the zone right at that highly traded area. Did make a slightly higher high, kind of, but basically sideways on the day. Moving over to Staples and discretionary. Staples actually looking like a pretty good opportunity here. Gapped up, hit that level, bounced from there, looking good at 72.73. Again, the 55 hovering out here at 73.51, definitely going to be an area of resistance. But look at how this is bottomed and it's rolling up now. Definitely interesting. Momentum bullish, RSI across the 50 line. You want to see that 21 and 9 EMAs cross. You got VWAP crossing the 21. Definitely looks interesting here on staples. Discretionary, still chopping in here, looking very similar to Tesla. Still a much lower high from this previous one, still well below that 55, sitting at 166.73. Moving over to breadth, in terms of looking for a bigger pullback rally, this is probably the most encouraging chart. You can see this consolidation, momentum continuing to tick towards bullish, RSI breaking above the SMA here on both charts. Both of these look quite good. We're above the 9 EMA on a closing basis. If we do see a nice little rally up into this zone up here on both charts, that would definitely be a good indicator that we're going to see a more substantial rally off of these current lows, instead of just a shorter term one, looking for a lower high and a bigger breakdown. Of course, both scenarios are certainly possible, but this looks pretty bullish again on both charts in my opinion. Moving over to yields, 2-year and the 10-year, you can see that 2-year hovering right around that 5%, just like the auction had. Looking at the 10-year, still pulled back from its most recent high, still chopping in the zone, momentum bearish, RSI pulling back. Still a technical bull trend, so you can't say that this is moving lower. Still above the 21, we still are in line here, 9, 21, 55, 144, and 200. Everything is still bullish, but this slight cooling in yields has allowed equities to go a little bit higher in my opinion. Moving over to the dollar here on the 1 hour and the daily chart, you can see the 1 hour rolling over. We have now crossed. The 9 and 21s have crossed as well. So this is a short-term downtrend, potentially looking to mean revert down to the 144 at 103.70. I also have a level here at 103.64. If we extend that trend line out here, you can see that we are basically right on it on the daily chart, very close to it here on the 1 hour. We talked about this being an overthrow, hitting that resistance and then having a bigger breakdown, and that does seem more likely now. If that does happen, that should drive equities a little bit higher in my opinion. Momentum bearish, RSI bearish on the hourly. Daily chart continues to tick in that direction. Overall, still on track with the thesis. Moving over to bonds on JNK and TLT. JNK absolutely rallying, looks good, momentum bullish, got above that highly traded zone. Want to see it get above this trend line, start to retest this previous level of resistance up around that 92.85 area. Overall, confirming a nice little uptrend on JNK, so we have a couple of good indicators for more bullishness. TLT still holding in the zone, just above the 9 but below the 21. Not showing us much of anything, still bullish momentum, still bearish RSI, and still consolidating here. Moving over to volatility here on the MOVE index and the VIX. Moving lower quite a lot actually, almost down to support. Definitely interesting. VIX also moving lower. This is the 4-hour chart on the VIX. Gapped up slightly, fell throughout the session, got below the trend. And this does look a little bit weaker in my opinion. Bearish momentum, bearish RSI. If 1490 breaks as well as the 200, we could be moving back down into this 13 area in this previous consolidation. And to me, that would be another pretty bullish indicator. So a lot of the shorter time frames and shorter term charts are showing some more bullishness going into the next day or two. Moving over to my accounts here, you can see I did not do very well. It shows a few dollars, but I think I lost money after commissions. Not amazing. IRA definitely made money. I didn't do a lot of trading in there. I left that covered call to expire. Couldn't really roll it out for a very good credit, so I decided to let it go and then sell a put here at 185 for 66 cents. Still bullish on the IWM. Everything looks okay still. Qs, I ended up purchasing another covered call for 200 shares out to 366. We'll see how that one plays out. The amount of negative credit here should go down even if we hold in the zone that we're in right now. Overall, still a little bit bullish. I also have 2 puts here at 364 for 51 cents each. All my positions are a little bit bullish going into tomorrow's session. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of the charts. Are the short-term charts going to overcome the longer ones, or are we going to slam into those longer-term resistances and move much lower over the next week or two? Definitely like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.